In the field of AI image generation, there are many tools like Midjourney and Stability AI. But why should you learn to use ComfyUI? ComfyUI is a powerful web-based interface designed for working with Stable Diffusion, a cutting-edge deep learning model capable of generating realistic images and art from text descriptions. What sets ComfyUI apart is its focus on flexibility. You can build and customize your workflows exactly the way you want. And the best part? With TensorArt, you can access ComfyUI directly from your browser. No installs, no expensive hardware, just pure creativity. Ready to create? To begin, head over to tensor.art. Next, let's create a workflow in ComfyUI, which is the goal of this tutorial. Click on ComfyFlow and then click New Workflow to start your own project. There are different pre-built workflows you can use, or you can build your own from scratch. I recommend learning the workspace by loading each node separately. In the top right and left corners of the page, you can change the name, view the history, share, or download the workflow. To add a node, you can either double-click on the workspace and search for nodes, or right-click and navigate through the context menu. Think about any text-to-image platform based on Stable Diffusion. In all of them, the first thing you do is choose a checkpoint model, right? To do this, simply double-click on the workspace and search for Load Checkpoint. The next step is to consider the sampling methods and other key parameters. To set this up, double-click on the workspace again and search for the K-sampler node. You'll notice that each node has outputs and inputs that need to be connected. For example, there is an output labeled Clip. To connect this output, click on it, hold the mouse button, drag it to any empty space on the workspace, and release it. This action will show you the possible nodes it can connect to. Every text-to-image workflow requires a prompt to guide the image generation, so the next step is to choose the Clip Text Encode node. You can either double-click on the workspace and search for it, just like before, or connect it directly to the Clip output. To set up positive and negative prompts, first copy the Clip Text Encode node and paste it anywhere on the workspace. For better guidance and easier recognition, change the color of the positive prompt to green and the negative prompt to red. Then connect these nodes to the respective positive and negative inputs of the sampling node. If you're unsure about the connections, there's a simple rule to follow. Always remember to connect all inputs and outputs that share the same color or name. This will ensure that your workflow functions correctly. You'll notice an unconnected node in the K sampler. Hold the mouse key and release it in any empty space, then choose Empty Latent Image. This node specifies the image dimensions and batch size. Now, to decode the latent space images back into pixel space images, you'll need the VAE decode node, which uses the provided VAE for this task. To do this, connect the unconnected output of the checkpoint node and the latent output of the K-sampler to the VAE decode node. Make sure to connect all the necessary inputs of this node to ensure everything is wired correctly. Finally, add a Save Image node to store the generated image. This will complete your basic text-to-image workflow. Let's test the workflow together. Choose your checkpoint model from thousands of categories. Type your positive and negative prompts. Choose the image size and the number of images you want to generate per run. The seed parameter initializes the random number generator used in the sampling process. The control after generate parameter allows you to change the seed number after each prompt. The steps parameter defines the number of steps during the sampling process. More steps generally lead to higher quality images, but increase computation time. The CFG parameter controls the strength of the guidance applied during sampling. Lastly, you can select the specific sampling algorithm using the appropriate parameter. The scheduler parameter specifies the strategy for the sampling process, and the denoise parameter controls the level of noise reduction. A value of 1.0 applies full denoising, while lower values retain more noise. And here's the result. Now what should we do if we want to add LoRA? Let's find out together. Just like with the checkpoint model, the first step is to load the LoRA model. So, let's go ahead and add the Load LoRA node to our workspace. Next, we need to connect this node to the rest of our workflow. Here's how. Connect the clip input from the LoRA node to the checkpoint node. Then link the clip output from the LoRA node to both the positive and negative prompt nodes. Connect the model input of the LoRA node to the checkpoint node. Finally, delete the existing line connected to the model output and reconnect it to the K-sampler node, and that's it. It's very simple. Now, you can select your LoRA model and adjust the strength model and strength clip values to your preference. Next, let's move on to creating an image-to-image workflow. Since we already have an image, we don't need the empty latent image node anymore. Instead, we'll start by loading the image. Add the Load Image node as the first step in your workflow. Use the VAE encode to convert the image to latent space. This means encoding the image into a format that the AI can process. After processing, VAE-decode node, decode the latent representation back into pixel space to save the image. Let's test this by uploading an image. One key aspect to pay attention to is the denoise parameter in the K-sampler node. This parameter is pivotal for the image-to-image process, because it controls how much the original image influences the final output. Oops! I just noticed I forgot to connect the VAE. Let me fix that real quick. And here are the results. Very simple. Now, let's see how we can upscale the final image. This is easy too. Let me search for upscaling options. We have two suggestions: latent upscale or upscaling by model. Let's try upscaling by model. The first step is to load the upscaling model using the Load Upscale Model node. Go ahead and select the upscale image using the model. And finally, save the upscaled image. Simply choose the upscaling method and size, then click Run to test it out. And there you have it. Upscaling is just as simple as the other steps. Now, let's try latent upscale, which is essentially an image-to-image process. In this method, the image is first generated, then a representation of the image is created in the latent space before being upscaled to a higher resolution. First, connect the latent output from the K-sampler to the latent upscale node. Next, connect the output from the latent upscale node to another K-sampler to process the upscaled image. Finally, connect the output of the second K-sampler to the VAE decode node, and then save the image. Just like before, connect all the inputs and outputs, and that's it. See how easy that was? Using this method, we can create our own workflow for processing any image generation task. Don't miss part 2, where we'll dive even deeper into advanced techniques. I'd really appreciate your support. Please leave a comment, give a like, and subscribe if you found this tutorial helpful. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.